I was folding his laundry when I found a wedding ring buried deep in the pocket of his jeans, still warm from the dryer. My heart stuttered as I turned it over in my palm, the engraving inside mocking me, 2 initials I didn't recognize, a date from a year before we'd even met. Up until that moment, I was his girlfriend, the one he'd introduced to his friends, taken on trips, even met his mother. My first thought was that maybe he was planning some kind of surprise, but the way my hands shook as I stared at that ring told me I already knew the truth. He came home late, like he always did on Fridays, smelling faintly of perfume I didn't own. I confronted him before he could hang up his coat, holding out the ring. He didn't even try to lie. The confession tumbled out of him, a wife in another city, a life I was never supposed to know about. He said he loved me, that he was going to leave her, all the clichés you hear in movies. But behind his words, I saw the calculation, the way he was already planning his next move. The next days blurred into a fever dream of questions from his friends, whispers from neighbors, and a confrontation with a woman who showed up at my door with tears in her eyes and a child on her hip. She was his wife, and I was the secret. We sat across from each other at my kitchen table, trading stories and realizing he'd told us both just enough to keep us hopeful, but never enough to let us see the whole picture. The lies weren't just to protect himself, they were designed to keep us apart, to keep us from realizing we were both living half-lives. Here's the twist, as I watched her leave with her child, I realized I didn't even hate him as much as I hated myself for not seeing it sooner. Every red flag I'd ignored, every excuse I'd made for the nights he disappeared, every time I'd let him get away with leaving me hanging. The betrayal wasn't just his, it was mine too, for letting myself become the mistress in my own relationship.